You are not in Kansas anymore when you play against this deck. With Dark Destroyer at 3, it is a force to be reckoned with. Being able to summon multiple copies of that monster to disrupt the opponent and even go for OTKs. I think that this deck has a couple of things up its sleeve, so I'm not only going to be showing you a Draco build, I'm going to be showing you a pure build as well. I'm TheCaliEffect, and if you guys want to see more videos like this, then go and destroy that subscribe button. But more importantly, go ahead and hit that notification bell because, well, we just too strong. Also want to give a special thanks to every single one of my Patreons. Without you guys, videos like this would not be possible. Also, a mad shout out to our newest Patreon, Chrysler Cruz. Welcome to the top dogs. I hope you enjoy your stay here. Without further ado, I present to you a competitive Kozmo deck profile for this format. Dark Destroyer is too strong, especially at 3. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so taking a look at the stats of Kozmo's, this deck is still pretty powerful, but unfortunately, I would just limit it to a regional level event. It has the ability to special summon quite a few huge boards to your side of the field, and it has a couple of cool combos. Again, I'm going to be showing you guys both a true Draco variant as well as a pure Kozmo variant. I think that both of them are really fun, especially seeing that they have quite a few techs and abilities of themselves. Let's start with the monsters so I can show you guys how this deck is played. We run 3 copies of the best ship in the deck. Kozmo Dark Destroyer is powerful. When it is special summoned to your side of the field, you can destroy 1 monster on the field. Now, it's really powerful for being able to destroy your own Kozmo ships and gaining their abilities to special summon new monsters to your side of the field, or you can just use it to disrupt your opponent, destroying cards on their side of the field so you can get disruption. Also, this 3000 beater cannot be targeted by your opponent's card effects, so Borload and Boral Sword Dragon just might be your opponent's only out to beating out this behemoth, and that can be hard to summon at times, especially since this card can disrupt one of those monsters to make the Boral Sword. Next, only 2 copies of Kozmo Forerunner. I think that this card is really good. It's another untargettable ship that if your Dark Destroyer is destroyed, you might want to cycle into. Also, it gives you 1,000 life points during your standby phase. Kozmo does get into a weird situation where you're paying quite a bit of life points, and having this monster going into the later phases of your games will be pretty important. Even more importantly, again, it is the biggest ship outside of Dark Destroyer that actually has the capabilities to special summon a Kozmo ship from your deck to your side of the field. I think it's a really powerful card. We followed it up with the best lower level ship in the deck, 3 copies of Kozmo Sliprider. Now, when this bad boy is special summoned, you can destroy a spell or trap card on the field. This is great for getting rid of Kozmo Towns, whether if you give them to your opponent or if you're destroying them yourself on your side of the field to gain a free search. And it's also good for disrupting your opponent's back row. The fact that it's a level 5 light machine is taken advantage of because we love making those Cyber Dragon Infinity plays. I played 2 copies of Kozmo Dark Lady. I think that this is the reason why this deck is so powerful. Just the ability to be able to have a monster that at the cost of 1,000 life points, yes, I know that could be a lot at times, but you can negate a monster effect, and on top of that, it's a psychic monster itself, so you can banish it to spell summon one of your ship monsters to your side of the field. Dark Lady is just an insanely good card if you ask me. Being able to negate opponent's monster effects, I just could not pass it up by playing 2 because there's a lot of instances where you can place 2 on your side of the field. That is it for, well, we already went through the ships, but to finish off the pilots, just 2 copies of Strawman. This guy is also ridiculous as well. 500 life points to spell summon a ship to your side of the field, and then the ship gets destroyed on the end phase. Depending on how you want to sequence it, you can get into Dark Ladies relatively fast. It also allows you to get some pretty nifty combos going on, put resources on your board for you to start popping off. 1 copy of Kozmo Farm Girl. This lady is insane. There was quite a few times where I was playing 2. Actually, in the live duel, I was playing 2, and I really wanted to play 2 because as soon as she inflicts damage to your opponent, she puts your opponent in a really, really bad position because you'll be able to add Kozmo Dark Destroyer, which is a win condition. Having a big ship plus Farm Girl will probably win you the game more often than not, just through sheer ability to OTK. Next is 2 copies of Kozmo Trash Can. I still don't like this card that much, but I understand its purpose, especially in this deck, allowing you to get your resources to your build. The pure version makes best use of this card if you ask me. I'll be able to show you guys because right now we're in the Draco variant. I think that that's a little stronger. The pure variant, again, just makes really good use of Kozmo Trash Can. It allows you to search your monsters or your Kozmo cards from your deck to your hand randomly and only during the end phase. But that's it for the Kozmo counterparts. We only run 4 Draco counterparts, 2 Ignis. Anytime your opponent activates a card effect, you can add a continuous spell. True Draco spell card from your deck to your hand. The spell cards are actually really good because you can use it to destroy your Kozmo town to gain more searches, and gaining searches have always been really popular. The reason why the Dracos work so well with Kozmos is because there are points in time where you actually need to destroy your ships, and Kozmos themselves offer no ability for you to be able to destroy your ships. So the Dracos, you diagram into a big ship and then you can start popping off with your plays. And then there's also some nifty combos because the spells allow you to destroy your Kozmo towns and your traps allows you to destroy your big ships on the field. One copy of Dynamite because it's limited to one, but he searches out your trap cards when your opponent activate cards. And then one copy of Majesty Maiden. I felt that 4 true Draco monsters was a really sweet spot for the deck, allowing you to have access to those monsters. And then their effects are not that bad. One being able to search the other one, this one being able to search spells, and then Dynamite being able to search traps. And then for hand traps, we just played 3 copies of Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. Really generic for the people that can't afford Ash Blossom. I want to say Effect Veiler is really powerful right now, so go ahead and play those Effect Veilers instead. That's it for the monsters. For the spells, we run 3 copies of Dragonic Diagram. I love and hate this card. I love it because if you open this in the ship, there's possibilities. If you open this a ship in a true Draco monster or a trap card, there's even more possibilities. This card is amazing at being able to destroy your ships. It's not once per turn, so you can activate a diagram after you've activated your first one. It's way better than the Fire King engine, in my opinion, just because of the potential for the Fire King engine to brick. But if you ask me, I think that the Fire King engine has a bigger play possibility, but still nonetheless, it's a really powerful card. Requires a huge engine to actually operate, but it's still pretty good. Next is 2 copies of Kozmo Town. Only 2. I don't think that you need this card in Moss because opening Kozmo Town without a way to either pimp it out to destroy it or, you know, gain Kozmo cards from your banish zone to your hand just isn't really powerful. And it's a great card, but unfortunately, until Kozmos have a way for them to destroy cards in their hand, like through regular Kozmo effects, we're gonna have to rely on another engine unless you go pure and run like some really crazy stuff. 2 copies of Disciple of the True Draco Phoenix. This card's actually really good, allowing you to shuffle back in your Draco cards. So for hypothetically, if you actually do run through your monsters, this card is a Pot of Avarice that allow you to draw a card and get into your engine. And even more importantly, the spell cards allow you to gain an additional tribute summon. Next is 1 copy of True Draco Heritage. This card allows you to draw cards up to the destroy True Draco spell traps or monsters on your field. It's another great card for your extra summon, and it's another Draco summon if you guys so needed. 2 copies of Terraforming to search into either your Dragonic Diagram or search into your Kozmo Town. Set rotation is really lit in this deck. You can set the Kozmo Town to your opponent's side of the field. You gain the diagram, destroy your opponent's Kozmo Town, and gain a search as well as have diagram for the destruction. And then 1 copy of Emergency Teleport because spell summoning Farm Girl to get in that extra bit of damage could be gained. That is it for the spells. For the traps, we keep it pretty simple as well. 3 copies of True Draco Apocalypse. I wasn't really comfortable running 2 because again, this any Kozmo ship and diagram is a really awesome 3-card combo, which is the reason why I would even play True Draco Kozmo, because other than that, I just play pure. More importantly, it actually allows you to half your opponent's monsters attack. That doesn't really come up too much because, you know, you have an untargettable Dark Destroyer, but I guess it could come up in certain situations. True King's Return will allow you to special summon a monster to your side of the field. But the great thing about these traps is because it provides you extra disruption. You can tribute summon one of your True Draco monsters on your opponent's turn and destroy a monster on the field, or you can tribute summon on your turn and destroy your ships and gain your ship's effects. Lastly is 2 copies of Back to the Front. Really combos off well with the trash can, allowing you to special summon those monsters back that you didn't get. So that's it for the main board. Now, I was running something really saucy. If you guys seen the live duel, check it out. It was just extremely good. So cut out all of the Draco cards. So that's these guys. That's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So far, I've cut out 12, 13. It should be 15 if I'm correct. 15. All right, so basically it's the exact same deck, just cut out all of the Draco cards, and you can run a really, really fun, pure version. Let me make sure, just to make sure. I don't even think I have all 15 cards here, but I'll be able to explain to you. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yep, that's 15 cards. I actually really enjoyed, had a lot of fun running Super Team Buddy Force. Now you can run two or three copies in this deck, but the reason why you run Super Team Buddy Force over Call That Hunted is because it's a normal trap card, and Kozmojos were really fun. Again, if you guys want to see how that deck operated, check out that live duel. The deck was just really fun to play. Just not as powerful as True Draco, if you ask me, just because of the limitations. And then the reason why we ran Super Team Buddy Force is 3 Trap Trick to be able to search and set to your side of the field either your Super Team Buddy Force Unite or your backs to the front. The rest from there is basically whatever you want. You can run an extra trash can, you can run extra farm girls, you can run extra hand traps, Call by the Grave, whatever. The pure version allows you to be more versatile, playing basically whatever you want. You can even run Demise if you really wanted to and get away with it, but I love this deck because Trap Trick basically allowed you to search your back to the fronts, which made Kozmo Trash Can more viable. Now the only downside was like your Kozmo Towns didn't like pop off. Like the only way you would gain Kozmo Town through his destruction is through Slip Rider, and also being able to destroy your ships in your hand was a really big problem. Now if I can find a trap card that can destroy monsters in your hand that was a normal trap card, I don't think there is one yet. The only card I can think of is Generation Shift, and that's on the field. But then this deck, I would feel more comfortable with it. But the trap trick, being able to destroy or banish a Kozmojo to set Kozmojo when you need it, being able to banish Call to the front to set a Call to the front, or even Super Team Buddy Force, because this card is a savage. This plus Kozmo Trash Can is amazing. Basically how it works is that you activate Trash Can, reveal any 2 ships and reveal that and Dark Lady. So your opponent has to add one of these to your hand, whether it doesn't matter, whichever one, and the other 2 go to the graveyard. Let's say, for example, we add a ship and these 2 go to the graveyard. So I can Super Team Buddy Force my Kozmo Dark Lady, which is the best possible thing. And then I can banish the Trash Can for Kozmo Dark Destroyer, which essentially allows me to get 2 summons no matter what, and it was searchable by Trap Trick. I just thought that was freaking amazing. But that is it for the main board and the extra deck. I'll have the pure Kozmo deck profile down below in the comment section, or not the comment section, the description. I'll have the entire list for you guys to play around with. For the extra deck, I'll blaze right through it because, to be honest with you guys, there's only a couple of cards that matter. Boral Sword, Boral Load, Summon Sorceress. This is the girl that actually matters in this deck, especially if you are going to be running the True Draco variant. If you are running the other variant, just run Gust Sweeper and Winter Cherries and Winter Cherries targets. None of it matters. When Pot of Indulgence comes out, I think that the pure version will be a lot better. Trisbana, Unicorn, Reproticus, that's actually important too. The Nightmare cards, Underclock Taker, Nightmare Mermaid, I mean, those are not important. Nova, Infinity, that's pretty obvious. Volcasaurus, Thunder Dragon. Then the 15th is a Mega Fleet for when I side Cyber Dragon. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Now I can show you guys a couple of combos and we'll be on out our way. The deck is very simple. Alright guys, so I'm going to be showing you quite a few combos depending on what variant you want to play. If you want to play pure, or if you just want to tech out your whatever deck, because this deck does have so many options. This is actually a combo that you guys could run. The only thing you have to do in the pure variant is play Fire King Island 2 copies and 1 copy of Fire King Avatar Garunix, and it does open up for you to have a little bit more combo potential inside of that particular build. And the only thing it's going to require is Fire King Island, Kozmo Slip Rider, and a big ship. Now you're gonna have to change up the main board a little bit, which I didn't decide. The reason not to run this is because of that. You're gonna have to run a couple of other interesting cards, but let me show you the combo. You're gonna activate Fire King Island, use its ability to destroy your Kozmo Forerunner to add from your deck to your hand the baby chicken, and then use the effect of Forerunner to special summon Kozmo Strawman to your side of the field. Strawman's gonna go ahead and bring out another copy of Kozmo or Kozmo Forerunner from your banished pile to your side of the field, and then you're going to banish the Kozmo Strawman to special summon Kozmo Slip Rider to your side of the field. Slip Rider's effect is going to activate, targeting the Fire King Island, destroying itself, and then Fire King Island's effect is now going to trigger, destroying both of your Kozmo ships. Use their effects, banishing themselves, to special summon Kozmo Sword Troopers and Kozmo Delta Shadows. These are 2 cards that you're going to have to play in this particular Fire King variant, and the reason why I didn't play it, or the Fire King in here, is because these cards don't have really any interaction besides themselves. Use Kozmo Delta Shadow, targeting itself or any monster on the field for that matter, to send from your deck to your graveyard your 2nd copy of Kozmo Strawman, or then Sword Troopers to special summon Strawman to bring out your Kozmo Forerunner to your side of the field. From there, you're going to normal summon your Fire King Avatar Garunix, use these 2 monsters for an Exceed summon into, actually, I don't even have that monster on hand, but it's going to be Leviair, the Sea Dragon. For you ladies and gentlemen that know what it is, Leviair the Sea Dragon is a rank 3 monster that allows you to detach 1 material to special summon 1 monster that is banished to your side of the field, but it has to be a level 4 and lower monster. Looking through all this stuff that I have, because trust me guys, when I say that we playtested the living daylights out of this deck, we playtested the living daylights out of this deck. Here's a Leviair. Using its effect to detach the Fire King Garunix, it doesn't really matter, to special summon Strawman back to your side of the field. Now Strawman's effect gonna special summon Slip Rider, and then these 3 monsters can be used for another link summon, or into your first link summon, into your Biko Bulker, just Bick and Back being Boo. Or you can make Land Fornicus. You can just use 2 to make Land Fornicus and leave that on the field. It does not matter. That has to be right here. Use both your Strawman and your Slip Rider and your Delta Shuttle for an Exceed summon into your Cyber Dragon Nova, and then into your Cyber Dragon Infinity, and then during your end phase, your Kozmo Forerunner gets destroyed, which means it gets banished, allowing you to special summon Kozmo Dark Lady to your side of the field. Now, if you wanted to use the Strawman and the other 2 monsters, you would have made, obviously, a Deco Talker. This is just a little shorthand combo with the cards that I had right there. So this is if you guys wanted to run the Fire King engine. It does have a lot of more pop inside of the deck, and if you just so happen to have a Dark Destroyer in your hand, things do get a little bit better, because now you can have the Strawman's ability to banish itself to summon the Dark Destroyer to get another disruption. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so for the True Draco combo, it requires you to have any Kozmo ship, any True Draco monster, and Dragonic Diagram. You don't even have to have the True Draco monster. You can have this or the trap card. It does not matter. You are going to have the exact same combo no matter what you end up doing. What you are going to do is activate your Dragonic Diagram using its ability to destroy Kozmo Dank Destroyer to add from your deck to your hand either one of these cards, and then triggering the effect of your Kozmo Dark Destroyer. That's going to allow you to special summon from your deck to your side of the field Kozmo Strawman. Use Kozmo Strawman's effect to special summon the Kozmo ship that you just banished, and then set your True Draco Apocalypse. Now you're going to normal summon your Ignis, the True Draco monster, and it's really important that one of your monsters, whether it's a Strawman or your warrior, is pointing under to an extra monster zone. So I'm going to tribute the True Draco Apocalypse and use Apocalypse to destroy Dark Destroyer again, and that's going to allow me to special summon my second copy of Kozmo Strawman from my deck, paying an additional 500 life points to special summon that Dark Destroyer to my side of the field. I am then going to use both my Strawman for a link summon and to my Raprodicus. Now, as you guys already know, Raprodicus is growing and growing to be one of my favorite cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! Because of how well ABC plays it, but True Draco kind of does the same thing. Use Raprodicus to turn Ignis into a dinosaur monster, and then we are going to link summon again. That is going to make my summon Sorceress pointing to a Kozmo Dark Destroyer. Also, it's really important that when you summon your Kozmo ship back to your field, it points to Summon Sorceress. So here is the deal, guys. You can use Summon Sorceress pointing to your Kozmo Dark Destroyer. Let's say, hypothetically, if you were so bossing to get Kozmo Dark Destroyer into this combo sequence, to special summon a Kozmo monster to your opponent's side of the field. And it's really important that you do that, because Dark Destroyer could then attack into the Slip Rider. Slip Rider destroys itself. You can banish it to special summon Kozmo Farm Girl to your side of the field. Farm Girl attacks directly. You pay 500 life points to get your Kozmo Dark Destroyer, no matter what ship is in your deck. Hopefully it's a level 7 or higher ship. And then you banish the Farm Girl to special summon Dark Destroyer to destroy Dark Destroyer or whatever ship it is, to summon another ship, and this is a load of damage, and actually this is actually game. So yeah, it's pretty much game with that. Another variation of the combo is just if you go all the way back and your opening card just happened to be Slip Rider, you just summon another Slip Rider to your side of the field. Where is that Slip Rider? Where is Slip Rider? Nip Slip. Yeah, if it happened to be Slip Rider inside of that variation, instead of summoning the Slip Rider in defense, I guess you could do it to still do the combo. You can summon the Slip Rider right here if you're going first, and use these two to make Cyber Dragon Nova and then Cyber Dragon Infinity, which isn't a bad play. I think that's all of the combos that I have on hand. I guess a visual of the combo that I'm talking about for the Tin Can will work. It's pretty awesome. All you need is Tin Can and either Trap Trick, or, you know, it kind of doesn't even matter. So you activate Tin Can's effect, Dark Destroyer, Slip Rider, and also Kozmo Dark Lady. And then your opponent has to choose one of the 3 to add from your deck to your hand. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sweet, we get the Dark Destroyer. These 2 go to the graveyard. And then on our opponent's, or then we set the Super Team Buddy Force Unite face down. On our opponent's turn, in the standby phase, just activate that Super Team Buddy Force Unite, spell summon that Kozmo Dark Lady, and now I have the option to be able to negate a monster effect. But anytime my opponent is really making me mad, I can just banish the tin can for the Kozmo Dark Destroyer to destroy my opponent's card. This card is just amazing in here. I really love this little 2-card interaction with each other. It made Kozmo Tin Can so much worth it. And I think if you guys are playing like a device variant or whatever, you should strongly consider Trap Trick and Super Team Buddy Force. Thank you guys so much for watching another segment of the TheCaliEffect. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, go ahead and give it a like, and if you didn't, let us know down below in the comment section what we could do to be better. Please like, comment, subscribe, but most of all, enjoy. I hope you guys having a great day like I am.